All right, and we're back with another episode of Show Me the Source podcast. We're your host, Tim Harvey and Ryan Darani. And this is a special one, Ryan, because I'm calling in not from Boston, Massachusetts, but from sunny South Florida. So if you see a little red in my forehead, it's because, yes, I'm getting some vitamin D.
I'm incredibly jealous. The UK has been incredibly wet for the past month and a half. And so I don't want to hear you complain. I don't want to hear nothing about your sunburn or how hot it is in the office. I don't care. Okay, let's get that straight.
It is hot in this office. It is. Well, I just hope the Wi-Fi here can keep up so we can deliver some good nuggets to the listeners.
100%. And I think you have a conversation, like you've had many conversations with agents about this, right? Like, I don't think we've even mentioned the topic, but the topic is how do we leverage YouTube?
Just dive right in.
We just dive right in. So how many, like over the month or so, last couple of months, what seems to be the consensus from agents?
It's like an everyday question I get. Someone is reaching out to me asking about YouTube. Or, they've heard, YouTube is now the number one source in AI citations, which is true. You used to be Reddit. Wikipedia is always up there. And so they're hearing that, and they're either already producing video and want to capitalize, or they don't produce video, but they recognize how powerful it can be to be on page one of Google and have your video cited in the answer. So it's an everyday question, I would say, is somebody's coming my way asking me, how can I capitalize on this?
Yeah, and I guess like the common, maybe not misconception, but the problem they have is either what I would assume time and also the knowledge of how to do it. Is that fair? Yeah.
I would also throw in a lot of agents don't want to be on camera. So even if they wanted to learn how to do it or make the investment in the equipment, some people just aren't comfortable on camera. It's just not their strong suit. So I think those ones they're probably waiting out for the voice cloning to get really good and the avatars to get really good, and then they'll hop on.
Well, the good news is like both of those things are becoming true. So for the agents that don't feel comfortable being on camera, that stuff is happening. And I would imagine that would be probably good to go by the end of the year. But for the agents who are comfortable on camera and who can see the kind of huge opportunity that YouTube is presenting to agents, we want to be able to show you how you can go from basically no idea of what you should talk about, what type of videos you should produce, how detailed these videos should be, to a complete video script with talking points, a video title, and a video description, and all of the kind of, quote unquote SEO stuff that you would need to do with one single prompt. So we're going to kind of just give that away. We're going to show you how to use it. And the only thing you'd need to do really is hit record from that point.
Sweet.
So before we do that, I just want to very quickly, and again, maybe we start with this. So you had a conversation with Nate Clark recently. Do you want to just kind of unpack what Nate's been doing and how it's been working? Just before, I want people to see the opportunity and how quick the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah. I was swinging in my hammock in my South Florida home, and I got a text message from our client Nate Clark in Austin. Shout out to Nate Clark, and he said, it was it was a screenshot. I'm looking at it right now. Transcript. It was a voicemail that he received. And so his text to me was, "This YouTube shit actually works!" ! Low volume, high intent. And so I don't have in the screenshot, but I asked him a follow-on question like, how long have you been posting these videos? I didn't even know he was posting videos. And so he niches down to probate, really focused on probate sales. He's been posting videos for 4 weeks. He has a lot of short videos. I think it was 36. So he's got 36 total videos on his YouTube channel, and he already has a phone call from somebody who, death in the family, I believe it was, and needs to sell this house.
I'm just going to grab it up so people can see what he's doing, just to give some like context of what the YouTube looks like and how Nate is approaching it. And I maybe just give you like give you some inspiration about what you could maybe take from this and also maybe what you could do differently. So I've got good old Nate's YouTube channel up. And you can see immediately he's leveraging AI to produce the thumbnails, which is awesome, as you should be, because you're not a designer, I would imagine. And it's one of those blockers to go from nothing to producing a YouTube video. You're like, how do I make a thumbnail? How does it look good? AI is good enough now to kind of do that for you. But you can see what he's doing, which is he's being specific to the location, doing X thing in Hayes County, or how do I do this in Texas? and like you called out, he's just doing like 3 to 5 minute videos answering, specific long tail questions that people are going to be asking right before they probably want to either sell a home or, investigate what needs to come next.
It's super long tail, right? Like very specific questions. So I imagine he's not going to get a lot of views, but he already had a phone call.
Yeah, I mean, even if you were to put it into perspective, you had I don't know how many views this totals. If I go to his home, let's have a quick look, see if we can figure it out. 36 videos, 261 subscribers, which is not terrible. 300 views. So he started. Wow. Did you say it was a month ago?
Yeah. He if you go all the way down to the video, I think the first video he posted was 4 weeks ago. When he texted me a few days ago, he said he's been doing this for 3.5 weeks. So the math checks out.
Okay, so 3.5 weeks, 300 views, and already had an inquiry. It's not bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call that an inquiry. But by the way, we say inquiry here. I wouldn't call it
because you guys say it wrong.
Hold on. Look at the capital gains tax. That guy's a red coat. See that?
Yeah, I see.
I love it.
You and your love of pirates, man, or whatever.
I tax thee. That's freaking funny. Well, I forget what I was even saying.
You were saying you wouldn't call it an inquiry. You'd call it something else.
Oh, yeah. I would call that a listing. He got the listing, right? So, yes, of course, it starts as an inquiry, but he got the listing. It's like, guy's ready to go. So, yeah.
Pretty solid ratio.
Super high intent. Yeah, really good ratio. 300 views. Boom, listing. Just like that.
And if you kind of hover over, you can see that he's maybe doing, maybe he sat down for an hour, produced maybe 10 videos at a time. You can kind of tell by, the change of outfit. So he's doing it effectively. He's kind of not trying to do this every single day, doing one per day. He's dedicating some time, an hour per day, maybe, to just sit there and record 5-10 videos. And in 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, it's managed to get him more than an inquiry and also a listing. Yeah. So that goes to show.
How do they get going? How do they do this? This is a very specific probate example. Let's assume most agents aren't focused on that. They're just focused on common residential sales. How do they go from having no idea what topics to choose to getting those inquiries?
We've got to deal with this language barrier. I love you Americans. You guys have been great to me, but your language choice and your word choice needs some serious attention.
I respectfully disagree, but okay.
I think there's 2 routes for agents to do this. They can either leverage the content they already have on site. If they've been creating blogs over the last however many months or years, there's going to be a whole bank of content that they can use. The second, route is a little bit not sneaky, but it's leverage. It's being able to capitalize on the hard work of other people. And me, being an SEO for as long as I have been, I like option 2 if it's available to me. So I'm going to show both. So the overarching theme here is, how do we go from a piece of written content and how do we turn that into a video script that is going to make sense, but also going to rank in ChatGPT and AI mode? Because whilst Nate is doing a great job with these short, snappy kind of FAQ style videos, there is also something to be said in really in-depth, valuable content. So as an example, I'll use Chris Spiker because we love Chris Spiker. He has a bunch of content on his site, and we've been trying to persuade Chris. Chris, if you're watching this, we're going to still persuade you forever.
What are you saying? Ryan was before we hit record. Ryan was making fun of me because I'm wearing flip flops. Chris is a big flip flop guy, so
yeah, flip flops should be banned.
You're wrong, Ryan.
No, it's the answer to your problems is Crocs or nothing. If you don't wear Crocs,
Crocs.
I'm sorry. Come on.
No, never put them on. Never will. My kids wear them. My boys love wearing Crocs.
Maybe you're just too old, and that's okay. I'm still young and fresh.
I'm 40
so
now.
I can wear the Crocs. But with Chris, we did the content for him, so he didn't have the headaches of having to research and produce the content. So we did all of this hard work for him. But these assets already generate traffic from Google. And that's the first point I want agents to understand, is that before you make a YouTube video about anything, you have to first understand whether or not it has value, whether or not search engines are going to, reward you for it. The easiest way to find that out is to go to Google and type in what you want to make a video about. So for instance, living in Bethesda MD. If you see a website from another agent, chances are there's potential for you to make a YouTube video about it. Simple as that. Doesn't need to be any more complicated. But we're going to take this blog and we're going to turn it into a video transcript, and I'm going to do it right now. And you'll be able to see the output, why we're going to leverage it in the way that we do, and the model that we use to get you to that point. So in this separate tab, this is the source. This is everything that you would need. This is everything you would need. This is a single shot prompt that contains your YouTube title, your YouTube video description, your talking points, everything that you would need. And the link to this will be in the video description. You don't need to worry about the ins and outs of it. But all this is basically saying is, give me options about how to make a video, give me all of the talking points, tell me how long it needs to be, and then write me the video description. So you don't need to worry about the intricacies or the technical know-how. You literally just copy and paste this into Claude. So let's do that. So I've copied and pasted it into Claude. Obviously, I'm not John, I'm Ryan, but this is John Mackin's Claude account that we share, because why not?
Thanks, John. What a guy.
Thank you, John. What a great guy for letting us use all of his credits. So what we're going to do, and you can see here, like, you're a video content strategist, input. So these are the only two things an agent would need to do. Paste your blog content here. Say less. I'm just going to copy all of this. I'm going to go back to Claude, and I'm literally just going to paste it in these little brackets. And you can see it says competitor transcript optional. So this is step number 2. So you've got your blog content that you want to not rip off. That's not the right word. You want to repurpose. And the next thing you want to do is find gaps in a competitor's YouTube video. And how do we do that? Again, we're going to keep it super simple. I did a quick search in YouTube that says living in Bethesda. And this is the top ranking video. And it's from Smart Moves Karen Gardner. Karen, if you're watching this, thank you so much for the content.
Thanks for the content.
Thank you for the content. We will use it with grace and humility. And then if you just go to the transcript and you copy the entire transcript, thankfully, Karen has kind of put in together here the headers of the transcript, which is super useful. I'm going to copy all of that.
Was this video when you did the Google search for this video was coming up first? One of the top
This was
videos?
the video that came up first. Yep.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. And it's important that that's what you use. You don't use a video that is like position 8 because, well, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
If we go
let's
back
assume
to,
it's not obvious. Just
Okay.
for the listeners, why would you choose the first video?
because the first video is what Google wants to see. And that is going to be, chances are 90% of the time, it's going to be the YouTube video that ChatGPT or AI models try to reference, because it's obviously already got that kind of foothold in traditional search engines. It's not always the case. Like sometimes ChatGPT will grab something from like page 2 or whatever it might be, but you don't want to run the risk of making a video and it not do well. So I always try and grab what's ranking already, and I just try to make it better. That's always how I approach this. So I've grabbed Karen's transcript. I've gone back into my prompt and it says competitor transcript optional. I would always kind of encourage you to use it because it's going to be, it's going to basically find content gaps for you. So that means you can make the best video. So I'm just going to copy and paste that into this little section here.
And so if they don't do that, where in the prompt where it says leave blank, do they have to clear that text out, or they can just leave that text alone?
You can just leave that right there. If there's nothing to put in, leave it as is. And if you don't put the transcript in, it won't give you any content gaps. It will just basically take your blog and turn it into a video transcript. So you might have like a new development that maybe hasn't got a video on it already, and you're the first to put a video out, and that's okay. But if it's like an existing topic that people have already covered, always try and put the transcript in. So we've got that. Everything at the bottom here is basically SEO friendliness. And it's also designed to try and get you leads. I don't know. Do you know if Nate got called directly from the YouTube CTA, as in like in the description, or did somebody then go and Google him?
I don't know. It was a voicemail he had on his phone. So I don't know if I could look at his videos. I think he does have a link in these. Let me take a quick peek. Look at the description at one of the videos. Yeah. In the description, he does have Austin probate real estate agent, certified probate real estate specialist, a link to his website, and then his cell phone number. So that's probably where that call came from.
Nate knows what he's doing. Nate knows what he's doing, because that is what you should be doing. I see tons of agents who have like such a great YouTube channel, and their video description is basically empty, and so. 500, 1,000 views on it over the course of a year, you've basically added a friction point, because if somebody likes that video and they want to contact the agent, they are going to look in the YouTube description. And if they can't find it, the likelihood of them going out of their way to Google you is pretty slim. So you just got to make that friction as little or as minimal as possible. And the easiest way to do that is just to add call to actions in your YouTube description. And you can see this script or prompt does all of that for you. And so if you don't have Claude, that's okay. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini, whichever your preferred model is. We use Claude for stuff like this because it is so good and super effective. ChatGPT, not so much, but that's your own preference. So I've got Opus 4.6, which just came out. So you guys might not have that. So I'm just going to do Opus 4.5, which is Claude's last model before this one. And I'm just going to hit go. And then Claude is now going to do all of the heavy work for me. And here we go. So you can see how quick that was.
For the win.
And the good thing about Claude, which is different from ChatGPT, that makes all the difference, I would say, is when you look for these engagement-focused titles and the hybrid titles, it's trying to create something that would be click-worthy. So like, for example, is Bethesda worth 1.2 million? The honest truth. Bethesda MD, the suburb everybody wants, but should you? I live in Bethesda. Here's what nobody tells you. Like that's pretty good. And it saves you the brain capacity of having to figure it out yourself. As we scroll down, you can see like the video outline, how long the video should be, so you have an understanding of, what kind of time you'd need to dedicate. It's got a hook in here. It's got all of your talking points, like literally everything. It's even got in here about what B-roll you should film. You can see here the cons, the pros, the cons. Is it right for you? The verdict, the closing, the CTA, and then more importantly, here is your content gaps. So this is saying the competitive video is solid, but misses several angles we can own. Housing market dynamics, school pressure culture, if it makes sense to talk about that, etc., etc. And then it gives you like all of the YouTube description, and I can, it's got your timestamps. It's just a massive, massive time saver.
What a time saver. So here are the 4 steps that I just wrote down, Ryan. Step number 1, you have to have an optimized blog. You have to have a blog on your website. And I'm not talking about, should I sell my home this spring? Like, be location specific. So in this example, best neighborhoods in Bethesda as an example. So step 1, you need to have that optimized blog. Step 2, the prompt. So if we got the prompt, you just paste the copy from the blog into the prompt. Step 3, little competitor analysis of YouTube. Find that top ranking YouTube video. And then step 4, run the prompt. Step 4, just now record. So you're reading the script, right, that it provides you. And then you're using the title and description for the video on YouTube. Donezo.
Yeah. Easy. There's nothing else you need to do. Nothing. And the big call out points here that you need to pay attention to from an SEO perspective, because the description does a lot of that for you. It'll include the hashtag, it'll include keywords in your title and your descriptions. Is if you are using your own content, this is only applicable if you are doing that, is a really great way to capitalize on the fact that you've got a blog is to embed your YouTube video in that blog. We do it a lot on our website. Like we'll do a blog and then we'll do a YouTube podcast to kind of accompany it. And it helps both. You can get traffic to both in one place. So if you have the blog, absolutely embed it. And if you don't, leverage it on YouTube and then think about how you can distribute it. Maybe some paid ads to the YouTube video. Maybe share it on your Facebook page. If you've got an email newsletter, distribute it that way. It doesn't take a lot of clicks for a YouTube video to rank quite high. So I'll open up any advocacy or devil's advocate from your side, because I speak in nerd and you speak in agent.
No, this is super simple. What's going through my mind is right now, this is clearly a competitive advantage that an agent could put something like this to practice. What happens in 6 to 12 months, like we're talking about with how good voice cloning is getting and video avatars? Let's say it is perfect, indistinguishable between AI and reality. What does that? How does that change the landscape? I could just see videos being flooded to YouTube and other places, Reels even, because now they're being indexed by Google. What does that look like for agents? Is it now a competitive edge, or is it just completely saturated?
So this happened only recently as well. So it's a great question. YouTube actually started to take channels down that were purely AI. So if it is very clearly just quote unquote AI slop, which means, it's super high volume, no depth, no value. It's there for the purpose of trying to make as many videos as humanly possible. The saturation won't matter because those channels won't exist. However, if you're able to couple a very good and, it is a clone of you, not just a made up person that nobody's ever seen. And you can use your own voice, which you've cloned, and you can use your own content in the video. It means that the people who can provide value and have an authority in their market, which is the most important part, because if you create an avatar and then create a YouTube channel around that avatar, it is not going to be as powerful as if Chris Spiker replicated himself. So the authority piece is still going to play a massive, massive role in that. You're gonna have to be searchable. You're going to have to be validated. It just means that for the agents that already have that presence and they can clone themselves and they clone their voice, it means they'll be able to make videos much quicker, much cheaper. And that means they will win, in my opinion.
Yeah. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, but it's getting very good. Very, very good. So I give it 6 months.
Yeah. We're going to definitely start playing with that. We did a year ago. I think I've talked about it on here before. I faked my wife out. I sent her a recording on my phone. So if I could fake my own wife, I can fake anybody out. So we're definitely going to start dabbling with that more this year.
Yeah, for sure. I think, and also obviously we all want results quickly. And what will eventually happen, I would imagine, is even though the clones are going to be really good, the people that spend a day creating a clone, like their voice, how long did it take you to do your voice? 3 hours? 45 minutes?
I don't know if I did it with 11 labs. I don't know if it might have been 3 hours that I sent in. The problem I had, I was too monotone because I was just basically journaling into my microphone for 30 minutes at a time and just talking. But I think I was getting too monotone. So I couldn't fake myself out, but my wife, she worked on her.
She believed you.
She did.
I love it.
She did.
And that 3 hours is a long time. So even when the clones get really good and the models get really good, you're still going to need to dedicate maybe a day or a week to really put in the effort to front load a model of video clips of you and audio clips of you and you in different sceneries. So it will still require effort, and the agents who are willing to put that effort in when the models get good enough will separate themselves from the agents who very clearly haven't. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
The excuses are going to be out of the window at that point. If you've got a face like mine where you need to be on camera because it's just nice to look at, AI is not going to matter, right? But if you don't feel comfortable being on camera and you haven't got this charming British accent and stuff like that, then obviously all of this AI stuff is going to be brilliant. But I kid.
I just can't get the inquiries out of my head.
Tim. My cousin from across the pond.
I don't know if I'm hoping the shared workspace, the Wi-Fi is not crapping out.
No, you're still here, but let's not risk it.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah.
Let's not risk it. Let's wrap it while we can. Short and sweet one this week.
Yeah, go and use it. The prompt is going to be in the description below. Rewatch this video 1,000 times over, and if you get stuck, there'll be, you can reach us at the hello@GoFlyDragon. It's going to be in the description as well. I'm more than happy to help agents who want to use this because I think it's for the best for them, and I want to make sure you've got like a healthy competitive advantage in your market. So hopefully that was good, short and sweet, but you still got the value out of it. Sorry, Tim's internet is terrible, and he looks red today. That's okay. You've got me. Stable internet, good looking face.
Sweating in here. So healthy. So hot down here in South Florida.
But yeah, we will see you.
We'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you in the next one.